And my cat is about to eat my tripod. Hi guys and welcome back. My name is Regan if you are new here, and I am an American who lives in France. And today I want to talk to you about the language learning app called FlashAcademy. So I was contacted a little while ago by one of their team members to review this app, and I'm super excited to share it with you today. So to give you a little background, I started learning French way back in 7th grade. And I just started because I did ballet and I thought, oh, this is something cool. It matches. We speak in French and ballet. I'll take the language class. And I actually really enjoyed it. So I continued through middle school, I continued through high school, and I took a couple classes in university before I finally studied abroad for a semester in the south of France during 2014. All of this happened before I moved here about 6 months ago to France. So I have a long storied history, but language learning is something that never stops. So I'm always looking for new ways to either improve or to focus on the things I've already learned, to practice. So I want to talk to you today about the FlashAcademy app and how I use it to do this. So I actually want to just take you guys through it with me. I have it here on my phone and we're going to look at it together today. So let me just go ahead and open this up. So when you open it up, you see that there are a lot of different subjects. And they are focused by either advanced, intermediate, or beginner. So there is something for everyone. I consider myself more advanced these days, so we are going to look at an advanced lesson today. And so at first it kind of looks like there's not a lot in here, but you'll realize that when you open it, you have a ton of sub-lessons inside each subject or category. So there's actually a lot of information in here. And when you open up each of these lessons, you'll see that there's not only the lessons, but you have something at the top called word games. And we're going to talk about this in a minute because this is one of the coolest features. But first, I just want to take you through a lesson to show you kind of what they look like. So you'll notice that the application is called FlashAcademy, because it is related to something called Flash Sticks, which are these awesome language learning post-it notes that you can put around the house. But this is kind of the application that goes for it. So a lot of the application is focused on expanding your vocabulary and working on these flashcards. So you can actually review these before, but I usually like to just jump right into the lesson. So you'll see that you start with flashcards, and they're actually color-coded. So this one is green because it's a verb, and you can listen to the audio or you can watch a video. So something that kind of disappointed me is I thought the video was going to be related to the flashcard, but it's actually just someone, who's saying the audio and you see their face. So I'm not quite sure the point of it since you already have the audio, but this is something I could see being expanded a lot in the future. So you start with your flashcard and then you have another just review of this. And this is how most of the lesson goes. Occasionally you will get a grammar tip like this that gives you a little how to use, kind of how-to thing, but they're few and far between, and then sometimes you just have normal kind of fun did you know type tips. So here's another one, le comptable. This is for an accountant, a bookkeeper, and because it's le, it's blue. Most of the ones in this one are blue. So sometimes during the lessons, you'll also get these kind of, oh God, it's hard to spell and talk at the same time. You'll also get these spelling games to help make sure that you know how to use and how to spell the words you're learning. So I'm just going to continue. This is to go bankrupt. Interesting is after you have finished covering the vocab cards, usually at the end you will have 1 or 2 sentences, and then my favorite thing, which is a dialogue. So let me finish this sentence real quick. See, sometimes I find it confusing because they'll change the word orders in the sentence. And you've never seen the sentences before, so I can find these difficult sometimes, but thankfully if you mess up, they just do that little red thing. So this is my absolute favorite feature, are these dialogues at the end. They take all the vocabulary words you've just learned and then they put it into a dialogue that you have to listen to and then answer a question for. So it's really, really practical, and then if you answer the question correctly, they show you where the proof is, or if you answer it incorrectly, they also show you where the proof is. Now, something that is really cool about this app that I haven't seen in other ones are these word games. So they take all the vocabulary that you've learned in your lessons within each subject, and they make fun games to help you review, not just like flashcard flip, but it's actually really enjoyable. So I'm going to show you a few of these as well. But essentially you just play a ton of different games like this, and it helps you review the vocabulary that you have just learned. So I think this is a super fun thing to do, and I also like to do it actually before I even start any of the lessons, because it gives me an idea of what's to come, and maybe I already know some, but it makes it more difficult. I like the challenge. So this is essentially what every category is. Now, when you click on a new category or a new subject, it asks you to download the lessons for that section. So I haven't tried this, but I think this might mean that they're available offline, which would be really, really nice if you are traveling and my cat's running around. If you are traveling and you don't always have access to internet, I think that's an awesome thing. So the last thing I want to cover, the last super, super cool feature of this app is what's on the bottom called Scan. This is kind of hidden, but you can actually take a picture of an object. For example, maybe we'll try a book. You can actually take a picture of an object and it will translate it for you. So actually, let's do some shoes. So I'm just going to take a picture of these shoes. It will then scan and analyze the picture, and it will tell me what it is. So this is also another super cool feature. I've never seen this before, but this is something where if you are in another country, or if you are trying to learn everyday vocab that you would need to use, it's an ingenious tool. You don't even have to Google Translate. And it's so accurate too. Blue suede flats, like so accurate. So I think this tool is really cool. So I actually really enjoy this app. I think it is great for someone who is looking to expand their vocabulary, but I can see a few things that I would want to improve. Now, of course, this is a vocab-based app. It's essentially a game with flashcards, but I'd love to see a larger emphasis on grammar. So in each section, you have your grammar cards, but that's kind of the end of it until you get to your sentences or to the dialogue at the end. Otherwise, there's no real practice. So I'd love to see maybe a few sections focused on different types of grammar. Maybe there's a subject called verb tenses, or maybe it's just something that's integrated into each category. But I'd love to see a greater emphasis on that. I'd also love to see some of the word games incorporate the genders of the nouns that you're learning, because you see that flashcard one time, you see it's blue or it's red or it's green, but then after that and the rest of the game, you never have to look at the color again. So I'd love to see some kind of integration into each lesson or into the games that have you choose le or la for each noun, so that you're forced to learn what they actually are, because otherwise you can get through the game without learning the gender of the nouns. And kind of the last thing I would like to see is an overall big word game for all of the lessons that you've downloaded. I don't know if this is totally possible, but it'd be nice to be able to review everything that I've looked at, not just one section at a time. So the biggest disadvantage for me is that this is a paid application. You can pay either monthly, you can pay every 3 months, every 6 months, or every single year. Obviously the prices get cheaper the greater amount of time you pay, but If you're not quite sure if you like this, or you're not quite sure if you want to pay, it can be something that can hold you back. That's why I wanted to walk you through the actual application today so you could see how it worked. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video today. I actually really like this app, and I think it would be perfect for a beginner or intermediate student who's either looking to learn the language quickly before they travel, or who wants to refresh and to expand what they already know. If you are someone looking for grammar, this just isn't gonna fit the bill for you. But if you're looking for a fun way to learn new vocabulary, I think this is the perfect option for you. So if you guys have tried FlashAcademy, or if you have other language learning apps you like, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!